You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, YNR fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we need to talk about the dark place that Claire Grace is in right now and why her uncle, Adam Newman, might be the best person to drag her into the light. So let's talk about 5 reasons Claire needs her uncle and why Cole and Victoria might need the help of the Newman black sheep to get their kid into a better headspace. But hey, if you haven't done so, please click subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thank you so much. Now let's dive right into those 5 reasons. So the first reason, Adam's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So right now, Claire Grace is rejecting her parents, Victoria and Cole, because she doesn't think she deserves to get better. She doesn't think she deserves their love or their forgiveness. But let's be real. Although Adam had a good mom in Hope Wilson, he still had a rough go during his childhood. He killed a man to protect his mom and then suppressed the memories. And yes, he had his stepdad Cliff, but that wasn't his father. Adam still feels the sting of his bio dad Victor not being around. And that's why he's done so many gosh darn bad things to either lash out at Victor for payback or scheming to desperately win his approval through less than appropriate means. So at a glance, you might think that Claire and Adam's upbringings were very different because Claire was raised by a nutcase aunt for 25 years who gaslit and lied to her. But remember, Adam basically had a traumatic break because his parents lied to him and hid the fact that he killed that man way back when. AJ Montalvo, I think was his name, something like that. And you know, they both have serious scars from their childhood. Both have some abandonment issues. There's not much angst that Claire could unpack that Adam wouldn't understand. And that's quite different from Victoria, who's had her parents around her whole life, had a silver spoon in her mouth from the start. So I definitely think Claire and Adam have a lot more in common. All right, the second thing is that Claire assumes she's the worst Newman, but she just needs to hold Adam's beer. So the other big benefit Claire could get from Adam's perspective is that he has been the chief tormentor of the Newmans since he came on the scene. I mean, sure, Claire put an IV drip of vodka in Nikki's arm and turned her back to an alcoholic. But if Claire thinks that's the worst deed ever done, she needs to definitely hold Adam's beer, but not give it to her grandmother. Adam sent his dad to prison on false murder charges. He gaslit his stepmother, Ashley, into a miscarriage and mental breakdown. He stole an infant. He blackmailed people. He framed his brother, Nick, for murder when he faked his death. He accidentally ran down a child who was in the road and then destroyed the evidence that could have made this a simple thing, but turned it into basically a huge vendetta. He tampered with his dad's meds and almost killed him. So, you know, maybe Claire needs to meet someone who has done really bad things to put her own sins and crimes into perspectives. And when she's done holding Adam's beer, maybe they can have one together to commiserate on doing bad things to the Newmans and the Newmans disliking them as a result. So the third thing is Adam can offer a perspective from the other side. So Adam can give Claire a glimpse from the other side of feeling hated and despised. He's been where she has been many times, hated by the Newmans, feared by the Newmans, criminally prosecuted by the Newmans, and he got through it. He's even back in his dad Victor's good graces, and his stepmom and siblings might actually be lightening up on him a bit. So Adam does know that it gets better and can give her some tips on how to persevere and hang in there until it does get better. In fact, I think much like Nikki, has that AA sponsor to help her stay sober, maybe Claire needs a bad behavior sponsor, a BB sponsor. So when she's feeling like lashing out or hurting the family that she thought rejected her, she can call Adam and let him talk her down from what she's thinking about doing. That seems like a really, really good idea to me. Claire's parents, of course, can't really see her side of things, but Adam Newman certainly can. Number 4, Adam's very existence right now proves that redemption is attainable. I mean, let's be real. Adam Newman should be cooling his heels in prison, considering all the many criminal schemes he's engaged in over the years. But he is out and living his best life, and he's working with the family that he terrorized many times in the past. So if you think about it, Adam Newman is basically redemption personified. I mean, he probably doesn't deserve the second, third, sixth, seventh chances that he's gotten. But at last, now he seems to be in a good place to me. And he does seem that he is redeemed or really wants to be redeemed and do better, of course. Only time will tell with either Adam or Chloe of whether they can be truly redeemed and remain redeemed for any length of time. But I do think Adam could be sort of a guiding light for her. And that seems strange because he can be such a dark person, but I could see it. All right, the fifth and final reason I think that Uncle Adam could be good for Claire is Adam knows the sting of being the Newman outsider. So this last reason I think he'd be good for Claire is that he knows what it feels like to be on the outside looking in. Some of this is his own fault, and some of it is simply him not growing up around the core Newmans like she has done. And some of it is the fault of Adam's siblings who have been jealous of him since they found out he existed. So no matter what's the cause, though, it absolutely hurts to be rejected by family. And Claire has been watching the Newmans from the outside for many years while she and Jordan were biding her time, waiting for the chance to get revenge. And Adam definitely knows what that feels like and how you feel like everyone is part of the family except for you. And Claire doesn't need to feel that way. I mean, it's not her fault Jordan kidnapped and brainwashed her, or, maybe, just maybe, Adam can convince Claire that she is not the villain that she thinks she is, and that she should give her mom, Victoria Newman, and her dad, Cole Howard, another chance to prove how much they love her, even if she doesn't love herself right now. And that's the core issue right now. Claire feels unloved and unlovable, unforgivable, irredeemable, all those things she thinks about herself. I would be thrilled, frankly, if Victoria recognized the similarities between her half-brother and her not-so-dead daughter and asked Adam if he'd speak with her. Because I know if he offered, Victoria might not say yes, even though for these 5 reasons that I gave and many others, I think Adam could help Claire to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see Adam spend time with Claire and help her out of this deep funk she's in and understand she is worthy of love and acceptance by the Newmans? Share your comments and be sure to click subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely come back soon because we're here chatting about Y&R every single day, and it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.